Hello, welcome to a brand new edition of Culture Mosaic, giving you the best bits of the week. We now start things off by making a quick tour around the Hue Thị Forging Village, where the art of knife and scissor making kept alive in Thăng Long. In our On the Mic, who else can be more special than a foreigner devoting his passion for Vietnamese poems, particularly the tale of Kiều? Then in our Connecting Cultures segment, let's dive down and check out colorful map sketches from the Japanese artist Asami Suzuki. Here we go. Hue Thị Forging Village, where the art of knife and scissor making kept alive in Thăng Long, Hanoi. We meet with an American who is in love with the tale of Kiều. And Asami Suzuki and the colorful mass sketches of Hanoi. The annual Hindu festival, Holi Festival of Colors 2019, was held at Kinder Park in Hanoi on April the 7th. It aims to mark the beginning of the spring in India and other South Asian countries. This year's event, themed Bring the True Indian Culture Spirit to Hanoi, highlighted by the colors and values of time-honored Indian culture, namely Indian cuisine and musical performances. The Phu Dây Festival recently kicked off in Vũ Bản district in Nam Định province. The festival is dedicated to honor Mother Goddess Liễu Hạnh, one of the four immortals in Vietnamese folklore. It is one of the major Vietnamese festivals. The highlight will be a Chầu Văn, or ceremonial singing competition scheduled at the Tiên Hương and Văn Cát temples. Eco-friendly products, including fashion items, have become more popular in the market nowadays. In order to promote sustainable fashion and responsible production in the garment and textile industry, the Hanoi People's Committee, Fair Wear Foundation and NextGen co-organized a fashion show entitled Walk the Talk in Hanoi on Tuesday. The fashion show gathered about 10 fashion brands from Vietnam, the Netherlands, and other European countries. All the collections from casual clothing to work clothing were made in a sustainable manner. Notably, the show featured models of different people, from kids to old people, people from the LGBT community, and people with disabilities. Through this, the show sent a message that fashion is for everyone and that anyone can join the trend of sustainable fashion. The Hue Traditional Craft Festival 2019 will take place in the central province of Thừa Thiên Huế from April the 26th to May the 2nd. Themed the quintessence of Vietnamese traditional crafts, the festival will gather outstanding artists from 62 craft villages in Thừa Thiên Huế and 17 international delegations and 11 foreign cities and organizations such as Japan, the Republic of Korea, China, Brazil, and Turkey. The Hue Festival will not only be a culture and tourism event, but also an economic and political one that will benefit Hue's artisans and craft villages. In recent years, many different forms of Vietnamese art have gained a large number of international fans. Vietnamese circus performance is an example of one of them. Vietnamese circus performers have been featured in many international festivals, cultural exchanges, and competitions and have gained popularity around the world. 10 years ago, the My Village Bamboo Circus wowed international audiences and earned praise when it performed abroad for the first time. This year, another circus performance titled Moon River, performed by the Vietnam Circus Federation, will soon wow German audiences. Three divers who have rescued a Thai football team last year made a new discovery in Vietnam when they explored a tunnel that could expand the area of the world's largest cave, Sơn Đông. The team was invited to descend into a waterlogged pit in the Sơn Đông cave in the central Vietnam that had never been explored. It is believed to be connected to nearby chambers. They were forced back at 77 meters because they didn't have enough oxygen to push further, but the tunnel is believed to be 93 meters deep. If the tunnel connects to another cave, it would make Sundong easily the largest cave in the world, and it would never be overtaken, according to British cave expert Howard Lindbergh, who had organized the dive. After launching to the Vietnamese audience on April the 12th, the horror comedy movie Face Off, The Working Guests by director Lee Hai will be released in 6 major cities in the United States. Later in Australia, the film will be screened in Melbourne and Sydney, respectively, from May the 15th, helping viewers get closer to Vietnamese cinema, culture and people.
Ủa, Hoàng có chuyện gì hả mẹ?
Tự nhiên cái em con hoảng loạn như người mất hồn vậy đó. Bây giờ cái gì nó cũng sợ. Thì con đừng có tự...
After 6 years of debut, Nắng Ấm Sa Dần, one of the first songs that helped singer Sơn Tùng MTP gain his popularity, was relaunched in a new look. The original version of this song was released in 2013 by Sơn Tùng MTP and received a lot of support from the public. This is a surprise gift that male singer gives to Sky, his fans community. The capital city of Hanoi is surrounded by hundreds of traditional craft villages which have historically dedicated themselves to a particular craft. However, they have lost much of their prominence in the modern age of industrialization and mass production. While many craft villages have been consumed by the expansion of Hanoi, some of them are still plugging away. One such place is Hue Thị Forging Village, 10 kilometers to the west of the capital, which is famous for the art of making knives and scissors, together with a large number of high-quality products exported worldwide every year. And join us in this week's edition of Cultural Lifestyle to find out how local blacksmiths keep the traditional job alive.
From early morning till late afternoon, the ringing and banging of steel and iron being beaten with hammers resounds throughout Hue Thị village. The first impression one gets when entering this village is a rush of excitement at the sound of hard work and enthusiasm.
Cách đây vào khoảng trên dưới 300 năm. Thì cụ tôi là phải đến vào khoảng độ 7 đời. Thì là ngày xưa cụ tên là cụ chính thực tế tên là cụ lửa, nhưng mà cụ tính nóng thì người ta có gọi đùa là cụ lửa. Mời thầy tận Thanh Hóa ra đây dạy nghề cho con cho cháu. Thế cho nên là mới giữ được cái nghề đó.
Hue Thị blacksmiths in the past specialized in making agricultural tools such as sickles, hoes, knives, scissors, and weapons. Under French colonial rule, by the end of the 19th century and early 20th century, Hanoi became a developed city with the rise of buildings, offices, railroads, and bridges. Taking advantage of this opportunity to promote their traditional job, a large number of Hue Thị blacksmiths moved to Hanoi and settled down on Hàng Bừa, which is now Lausanne Street, and Sinh Từ, which is now Nguyễn Khuyến Street. Meanwhile, the others continue their jobs in the village to meet the demand of local residents for wholesale shops in Hanoi. Hue Thị villagers are always proud of their art of making knives and scissors. They have the ability to sense the steel, so their products are durable yet flexible. The water to harden steel is prepared using secret methods by each family.
Tôi làm theo gia truyền của ngày xưa và cha ông để lại thôi. Trước thì rèn thủ công, nhưng bây giờ thì nó có máy móc rồi thì mình thuê người ta cán đỡ mỏng ra để mình đỡ cái sức lao động của mình. Còn đâu mình về mình hình dáng hình thức dao thì mình tự mình pha chế ra mình làm. Người sản xuất ra thì chỉ là ăn nhau nước tôi thôi. Thứ hai nữa cái kinh nghiệm mình nhìn được tôi thì dao nó sẽ bền. Tôi thì có cái độ cứng của nó. Độ bền của nó không, nếu mà không tôi không làm được.
Dùng dao bây giờ đa số người ta dùng cái loại theo thép đặc đấy, ta cán ra mỏng ra, ta chặt thành chuôi xong ta làm. Cho tôi thì nó có sắc thật nhưng mà chóng chơ. Người trước là chúng tôi làm ấy, thì có nghĩa là gừ một cái thanh sắt như này, bổ ra xong lại cho một cái thép vào, xong bắt đầu mới cháy, xong bắt đầu mới dàn mỏng ra. Cái thép ý mới gọi là thép cắt ngọt. Cứ dao thái thì cái cực kỳ là tốt mà bền, mài chóng sắc mà lại lâu cùn.
Compared to making knives, it is more difficult to make scissors because scissors have two blades that have to work together. To make a quality pair of scissors, the most important stages are tempering steel and shaping the product. Each family has a secret of its own passed down through the family.
Cái nghề làm kéo của tôi là cha truyền con nối đấy, còn tôi là trụ lại giữ được cái nghề này. Bao năm nó cũng nuôi sống cái bản thân tôi cùng gia đình. Đấy, cố gắng giữ nghề tổ. Nghề dao kéo này nó có khác cái làng nghề khác, cái là có cái tinh túy riêng của nghề ông cha để lại. Khi mà khách hàng người ta cầm lên ấy, thì nó có cái độ bóng bẩy hoặc là có cái độ cắt nó nhẹ nhàng, êm dịu, mượt mà hơn.
Xưa đi từ đầu làng cuối làng này, tiếng đen tiếng búa cứ là ngày hội.
Cái nghề này nói chung là lấy công làm lãi thôi, cũng đảm bảo được cái cuộc sống gia đình thôi, chứ còn nó để mà nghề này để mà làm giàu từ bữa nay thì không làm. Nghề gì cũng vậy thôi, mình làm nghề thì mình phải có tâm. Khi để ra một cái sản phẩm là phải đảm bảo để cho người ta khách người ta cảm thấy yên tâm thì người ta mới tìm đến mình, người ta mới tín nhiệm mình được.
Thời gian mà để trở thành một cái người thợ có một cái trình độ không phải là ngắn đâu, không phải ít là 5 năm trở ra, 5 đến 10 năm, nhưng mà phải nói là phải hiểu biết, phải chịu khó lắng nghe thầy ấy, giảng cho, phải tiếp thu. Nhưng mà đừng có tự ái mà này khác là không bao giờ làm được. Phải kiên trì làm thì mới cái hàng nó mới tốt được, mà nó mới bảo đảm được cái kỹ thuật, bảo đảm được cái sự sử dụng của cái độ bền của cái sản phẩm đó.
Wealthy blacksmiths favor the quality of the product more than the appearance. Hence, their products are famous for sharpness and durability and have been sold throughout the country as well as exported to many others. The characteristic of the local blacksmith's knives and scissors are a result of century-old craftsmanship, together with an endless passion for the job and their respect for ancestors' contributions to the development of the traditional forging trade.
Culture Mosaic is a weekly journal here on VTV International, looking to give you, our viewers, the latest scoop on the culture scene here in Vietnam. Whether it be the diversity and richness of the century-old heritage or the dynamic and exciting vibe of a modern Vietnam, we hope to bring you the many facets of the cultural and artistic soul here in the country. So don't go away, as we have many more news coming your way. The Tale of Kiều is an epic poem written by Nguyễn Du about the life of an educated, beautiful but unfortunate woman named Thúy Kiều. It is widely regarded as the most significant work of Vietnamese literature and has also received international recognition. Eric Hayes is American who has such great love for this legendary poem that for him, reading the Tale of Kiều is a kind of religious practice to go to the next life. Let's learn more about Eric's passion for the Tale of Kiều in this week's On the Mic.
Self-learning traditional Nôm script and Vietnamese and coming to Vietnam to pursue his passion for the Tale of Kiều, Eric Hayes is not your typical American expat. Eric never calls himself a scholar, instead just a guy who has fallen head over heels in love with a legendary Vietnamese poem. To support his studying of the Tale of Kiều, Eric has made his own book, combining the Tale of Kiều in Nôm script, Vietnamese, English, and commentaries from various sources.
Đằng hồng nhân tự thuở xưa cái điều bạc mần có chùa ai đô nói niềm từng đến mà đau thấy người nằm đó biết đau thế nào.
Thank you, Eric, so much for joining the show. These are also some of my favorite lines from The Tale of Kiều, where Thị Kiều visits Đạm Tien's grave, also a very beautiful but unfortunate woman. So what are your other favorite lines from the book?
Thủy Kiều, she comes home and she sees her father and her brother hanging upside down. The father is going to have to go to prison. And so Kiều thinks there's no other choice, and she has to sell herself to which eventually turns out to be a brothel. And she's Kiều is lamenting about her own fate, how terrible it is. Phần sau, phần bạc, như voi đã đàn nước chảy, hoa trôi ló làng, ôi kim lan, khói kim lan, thôi thôi thít đã phủ trần từ tay.
For most Vietnamese, including myself, The Tale of Kiều is our pride and joy. But for you as an American, how did you come across The Tale of Kiều?
I was used to reading Chinese characters, and then I learned about the ancient Vietnamese script, Chu Nom. So I started studying Chu Nom about 10 years ago or so as a hobby. And then the main classic of Vietnamese literature written in Chu Nom is The Tale of Kiều. And I started reading it, and I was just shocked at, I read it in English first, and I thought the English was like the most beautiful English I've ever seen. There were like birds and clouds and rivers and mountains and, you know, a young girl and a boy and love and breaking up and coming back together again. And the story itself was so exciting, and the English was, the language was so fantastic. I thought to myself, how could anything be better than this? And then I started reading the Vietnamese language version, and I was just shocked like 10 times more.
Trăm năm trong cõi người tang, chữ tài chữ mệnh khéo làng ghét nhau. Trải qua một cuộc bể dâu, những điều trông thấy mà đau đớn lòng.
Since its publication in the early 19th century, The Tale of Kiều has stood unchallenged as one of Vietnam's most treasured works of literature. The book has also transcended national borders to conquer the heart of poetry lovers on all continents. French poet René Christophe wrote, The Tale of Kiều by Nguyễn Du is truly a literary masterpiece, comparable to any great works in any other countries during any periods. The legendary poem was also recited by former U.S. President Bill Clinton on a historic visit to Vietnam in 2000, and by former U.S. Vice President Joe Biden in 2015.
The great Vietnamese poet Nguyen Du had written, "Thank heaven we're here today to see the sun through the parting fog and clouds," because it is parting. They're here.
To help spread the love for The Tale of Kiều to even more people, Eric recently held a talk in Ho Chi Minh City named The Tale of Kiều and I, where he recited passages of the book and shared his own perception.
Share with us a talk that you recently gave in Ho Chi Minh City about your perception of The Tale of Kiều.
30 people attended, most of them Vietnamese, and I gave the talk. It was about 2 hours in my halting Vietnamese. And then when I recited some passages from the poem in Vietnamese, then I look around, the room is filled with just tears. It's like some kind of hypnosis. They get all excited and moved.
I heard you created your own tale of Gil in different languages. Do you have the book with you today?
I think there's like no book in the world with normal Vietnamese script, English, and also with the various commentaries. So I copied the Nom script, and then I copied the Vietnamese for each line, and copied the best English. And then from the various books, I copied all the commentaries. It took about 10 hours or so. At the time I started reading, I didn't know Vietnamese really that fantastic. So it's still in progress. So I had to like look up each syllable and each word in the biggest Vietnamese dictionary I could find, and in the various Nom dictionaries. And then just write down all of the example sentences for that each term, so I could simultaneously like learn try to study modern Vietnamese.
I'm very impressed with something that you recently shared. You said reading the Tale of Gil is a kind of religious practice for you to go to the next life. Can you elaborate?
Because at work, one of my coworkers passed away, and he was the same age as myself. And I thought he was healthier than myself. So I was really shocked. And I thought for myself that I might not have much longer to live personally. So I wanted to, written in the most beautiful language, the most beautiful story, has the most beautiful characters, before I go on to the next whatever. And that happened to be the Tale of Q. So after my coworker passed away, I immediately quit work. I thought, what do I really want to do? I want to have the most wonderful ideas and poetry and thoughts. For myself, there's nothing to compare to the Tale of Q.
Once again, thank you for joining the show.
For many Japanese tourists, Hanoi has long been an attractive destination, inspiring both familiarity and curiosity, so much that it prompts them to return. In our Connecting Cultures this week, we'll meet with Asami Suzuki, a Japanese woman with a great love for Vietnam, as she explores the capital city and draws a series of sketches called Hanoi Map to have Japanese visitors discover interesting corners of Hanoi.
Don't forget to bring your camera, and please wear comfortable shoes. The little girl in the sketch will take us along the train tracks connecting Hanoi Railway Station and Long Biên Station. Rows of houses built right next to the railroad. Locals going about their daily life. Street vendors selling drinks to visitors while they wait for the trains to run past. These simple and peaceful images are all captured in these comic-like frames from Asami Suzuki's map sketches. The combination of mapping, funny drawings, information, and Asami's own thoughts about her experiences help create the unique expressions of her sketches. Having visited Vietnam many times, Asami fell in love with the country and decided to stay. As time goes by, her first impression of an old and gloomy Hanoi has changed as she started to see the true beauty of the capital city.
To be honest, the first time I came to Hanoi, I felt the city was too dark and gloomy, while Ho Chi Minh City was brighter, more modern and enjoyable. However, as I've lived here for quite some time now, I started to realize it is Hanoi which holds the unique beauty of Vietnam. Hanoi has gone through many changes. Many elements of the modern city are present now compared to several years ago when I first arrived. I think Hanoi has a good balance between the old and the new.
Having landed a job at a tourism agency, Asami has been trying to share what she knows and experiences in Hanoi with other Japanese tourists. Not only drawing, Asami also wanders the streets with visitors from her home country, introducing them to unique cultural traits and interesting corners of Hanoi. More than a dozen of Asami's map sketches and articles about her exploration of Hanoi streets have been published on the website mapshanoi.com.
I've just arrived in Hanoi. The bits about interesting eating places and destinations is very helpful to me because I couldn't find such information back in Japan. I've seen every map sketch that Asami drew. They inspire me to keep exploring Hanoi. The information is very detailed, real, and easy to use.
Hanoi, as well as other cities in Vietnam, is changing day by day. However, both the ancientness and the liveliness of the citizens always manage to bring a sense of calm relaxation, charming enough to keep people attached to the city.
Before coming to Vietnam, I had been to many other countries. For some of them, I feel like visiting once is enough. But Vietnam makes me want to return as many times as possible. I don't understand why, but I never feel tired of this city. I will keep sharing my love for this place as long as I can.
In the near future, Asami plans to undertake a journey across Vietnam to explore the nature, people, and culture of this city. She also dreams of publishing a book about her exploration in Hanoi, which will include many of her map sketches.
And that is the end of our program. If you would like to provide feedback or comment on anything here on Culture Mosaic, please feel free to write us at vtvinternational@vtv.vn. You can also log on to vtv4.vtv.vn or our YouTube channel at VTV4Go for more of our program. And we'll be back next week for another episode of Culture Mosaic. Until then, goodbye.